So I planned to attend this event in DC. The event was for only one day, but since I had never been to DC, I decided to extend the time there for an additional day so that I could do some sightseeing. So I wouldn't be me if I didn't give you a little history lesson that I've learned myself. So DC is our nation's capital that was established in 1800. Prior to this, the home of the sitting president and the place where Congress would gather were located in New York and Pennsylvania. Relocating the nation's capital to Virginia was a part of a compromise regarding the Residence Act. I also learned that from Hamilton, So Alexander Hamilton wanted Congress to pass a bill instituting a national bank to cover future war expenses, but was getting a lot of pushback from mainly the wealthier slave-holding southern states. As part of the compromise, Thomas Jefferson, a slave owner who was at the time the Secretary of State, would give support for the institution of the national bank if the capital was moved to Virginia. This benefited him because he was a native of Virginia and his home, Monticello, was located in Charlottesville, Virginia. The Resident Act laid out all of the details regarding the land and the building projects for the White House and congressional buildings. Washington, D.C.'s name is a combination of a tribute to George Washington, the first president, and the personification of America, which is Columbia, Washington District of Columbia. It lies between Virginia on the south and Maryland to the north. It is not a state, but it is governed by Congress, a mayor, and a 13-member council. Initially, I had planned on flying, but I panicked because of all the issues with the government shutdown and the airport delays that caused some flights to be canceled. Now, there were definitely some pros to taking a train and not flying in, but there were also so many cons. In hindsight, flying would have been a better use of my time because the total time from Atlanta to Washington, D.C. was 14 hours. In the future, I would rather fly to a destination, but I have already made commitments to travel by train at least one more time in my life to experience a cross-country train tour in a private room. Riding on a train and coach is similar to a coach on a plane or a bus in regards to the space you would share with other travelers. So I'm somewhat of a germaphobe, and it was an uncomfortable experience. Now, the pro to traveling coach on the plane is that compared to a 14-hour trip on the train, I would only be in that uncomfortable situation for about 2 to 3 hours. So I had to limit how much I ate the day before so that I wouldn't have to use the restroom. Thankfully, I only had to visit the toilet once each way. I will say that my only complaint regarding the toilets were that my fellow travelers were not considerate and did not clean up after themselves. The other con were the seats in coach. The seats recline, but I'm 5'9", and the leg extension didn't support the whole length of my leg. However, fortunately, this wasn't too much of an issue because I was able to get some sleep on the way to Washington, D.C. As for the views, there wasn't much to see, but one thing that really fascinated me was the Civil War graves in Culpeper, Virginia. This is not the well-known Arlington Cemetery, but are also their Civil War graves. So the dead from those conflicts were buried nearby in makeshift grave sites. After the war, a reburial program was initiated, and in 1867, Culpeper National Cemetery was established. So as I exited the train at Union Station, I was impressed. Atlanta can boast about our airport, but Atlanta's Amtrak station has 2 tracks, where Union Station has 25 tracks. It's a transportation hub for Amtrak trains, Amtrak buses, as well as MATA, the DC rail and bus system, Marcus, the commuter rail servicing for Maryland and DC and Virginia, and VRE. VRE is Virginia Railway Express servicing Washington, DC, and Northern Virginia. I stayed at the District Hotel located in the Brentwood and Edgewood neighborhood.
So I am checking out, but I wanted you to see the room. It is a very small room. Basic necessities. Regular, let's hack some cable TV channels, but it was nothing really that I wanted to watch. They do have an ice machine on one of the floors. I believe this is a 7-story building, and they had one ice maker machine on floor 2, but no vending machine, so I had to actually walk around the corner to get some water from CVS. This is the desk and TV. Very small. The bathroom, very decent. It's an old building, but the bathroom is recently renovated. Well, the whole hotel was recently renovated. Nothing fancy. It's clean. I didn't see any critters anywhere. This was weird that the toilet tissue paper was all the way over here, so I had to take it off. But I would say also this was a problem for me, that the AC was right over the bed, because the pillows were right under the AC. I did not sleep that way. That was kind of like, it gave me anxiety to sleep that way. But again, I get it. That's pretty much the only way you could have put a bed in this room. But I just slept at the foot of the bed, head towards the foot of the bed. But it is what it is.
So my hotel was so basic. They didn't have anything but a ice maker machine on the 2nd floor. It was a 7-story building, but only one ice machine. But like I said, it's just the price was reasonable. But they didn't have any amenities, not even a vending machine. So I had to, at nighttime, I was thirsty, so I had to go get some water from the CVS. And it is really like the nightclub part of the city. Like, there were food trucks lined up on the roads and stuff. It was just a lot of people out there. There were plenty of restaurants, and Whole Foods and CVS were only a block away. So on day 2 in DC, I was looking for a local laundromat and happened to see on the map, the Google Maps, Old Korean Legation. So I was introduced to K-dramas last year, and I was immediately fascinated with the Korean culture. When I saw this museum on the map, I had to go. The museum was only a 6-minute walk from the hotel. So in 1882, the peace treaty between the U.S. and King Gojong of Korea was signed. In 1889, the legation moved to this location. This was the site of the official functions and the residence of Park Chung-yang, who was the first Korean minister to the United States. When Korea was colonized by the Japanese in 1913, this building was sold for $5. After World War II in 1945, Korea was split and South Korea gained their independence. In 1953, they signed another treaty with the U.S. Eventually, in 2012, they were able to buy back this building and restored it to its former state. It is a place for history, education, and focus on the U.S.-Korean relationship and understanding of Korean culture. From there, I took a lift to the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
I just left the African American, you know I'm saying it wrong. It is the National African American Museum. I don't think you can see it. This place is huge. If you're coming to DC, you might want to spend a whole day in this place. Like, it literally is information overload, not in a bad way, but I didn't think I was going to spend, well, it was going to take this long, and I wanted to see other things while I was here, so I kind of had to cut it short, but definitely going to have to take another trip. It's so much more that I want to see, but I'm here. This is the Treasury Building and the Ronald Reagan Building, and if you can see the obelisk right there. So now I am headed towards the White House. I was on my way to the White House. There's like a free guided tour, but I have a selfie stick, and they said that they would throw my selfie stick away and things that are not allowed. So I didn't want to chance it. So I guess I'll pass up on this today. Okay, guys, you're welcome. Okay, Okay, guys, this is the closest that I can get to the White House today. You do not get close to that. Like, I remember seeing video footage of people out in front of the White House rallying, picketing, walking across, like on the sidewalk across the front yard of the White House. That is just not possible. It's security everywhere. The park across the street is totally perimeter. The whole perimeter is blocked off. They are having an event today to 4:30, so you can get closer and view the gardens. But I have a backpack, which is too big, and then I have a tripod, which they said the Secret Service man will throw away. So it's not worth getting anything thrown away because it's just a view of the White House, but that is the closest that I get. It is directly across from Washington Monument. I'm coming to see you, President Lincoln. I'm gonna have to post how many steps that I've done today, and I am feeling it. I still have long ways to go to get to the Lincoln Memorial. I really want to see the reflecting pool. The reflecting pool is significant for me. One, because in front of the reflecting pool is where Martin Luther King made his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. And another thing is the scene in Forrest Gump when they were protesting the Vietnam War. And Forrest Gump, Jenny, his childhood friend, recognized that it was him speaking at the podium and jumped into the reflecting pool to get closer. And then when Forrest Gump realized who she was, he ran, and they had this reunion in the reflecting pool. So I really want to see the reflecting pool as well. So apparently this is the reflecting pool, and it's being renovated or cleaned or something. That's a bummer. I really wanted to see this thing with the water. Definitely have to come back to DC. This would have been so beautiful to see. Filled with water, the reflecting pool. And take my time going up these stairs. I see Lincoln peeking from behind the columns. I actually feel like Rocky going up these stairs, but a slower version. I am here. I am walking back towards here so that I can go to the Smithsonian Museum. It's just too much to do in a day. I saw a spy museum. But I don't think I'm gonna do that, and the American Indian Museum today. It'll take a lifetime to see everything you need to see here. And then they have the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. It's time to get on this, dudes.
This is a no-ride zone. This is a no-ride zone.
Dang it. so fun riding down. This is why I need Meta glasses. I have some cheap glasses, but I don't know how much they can store. But this is exactly why I need Meta glasses. So y'all can see what I see. Or like a GoCam. I need to invest in a GoCam. Ooh, 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 ooh. I would not have made it. So I just took this video all the way from the Lincoln Memorial back to the African American Museum of Arts in the Smithsonian Museums. I would not have made it. I never would have made it without Leo. I'm tired, guys. Again, I underestimated how long it would take me to get from the National African American Museum of History and walking towards the American Indian Museum, and I'm not doing it no more. I'm tired. It is literally only 3 o'clock, but I left the house at 11 o'clock and been walking. Isn't this a nice place to sit though? Been walking this whole time. I'm about to enjoy this view with this fountain. And I didn't eat anything because I didn't want to have to use the restroom, public restroom, so I didn't eat or drink anything. I'm going to find something to eat and go home, well, not home, to the hotel. I think the best thing to do, because travel is expensive, if you're young, I suggest that you find some type of way to get a summer intern position or anything. If you're in hospitality, it's probably easy to get a job in hospitality for a summer. Or even if you're young, it's just a way to like get out and see things, not to like really spread any roots at the moment. But this is a nice city to just live in and be able to every weekend do something, because it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to see. Woo. But it's a beautiful day.
The last day in the city, I decided not to do much because checkout was at 11 and I didn't want to get sweaty and inconvenience my seatmate on the train. So I just explored Union Station and ate while I waited to go back home. Considering I only had one day to tour the city, I had a good experience. There is so much more I want to see, and so I will be returning. Next time, I would like to take the bus tour that rides around the city, and also I would consider utilizing a metro system instead of Lyft so I can save a lot more money on inner city commute. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my next adventure.